How often should you get an oil change? The standard saying is that you should get an oil change every 3,000 miles. With technological improvements for the oil used in engines, is that still necessary? Can oil last longer than the 3,000 miles that the manufacturer once suggested? The answer is it depends on the type of oil you use, how much driving you do, and how old the engine in your car is. Something that might work for one car might not work well for another vehicle. Commuters who drive long miles on the highway day after day might be able to go longer without an oil change. It's the people who drive distances where there's a lot of stopping and going, such as through the city, where it's harder on an engine and the oil within it. The fewer stops that are made during the mileage racked up between oil changes means that it has longer that it can go between oil changes. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't check your oil, however. Check the oil. Oil needs to be checked to make sure that it's at an adequate level. When the dipstick doesn't measure enough oil, then it's time to add another quart or so until it's at the correct level. Not having enough oil in the engine means that there isn't enough lubrication for all of the moving parts. Less lubrication can lead to overheating and wear inside the engine. Wear and tear leads to breakdowns. When the oil is checked, the dipstick will also show when it's black in color. When it is black, it's dirty and time for a cleaning. Even if you aren't at the 3,000 mile marker for an oil change, if it's really dirty, it should be changed anyway. The dirt in the engine is what causes problems to happen. Spending the money to have an earlier oil change is better than spending a lot of money on a transmission repair later on. Synthetic oils. The type of oil used in a car can also determine how long to go between changes. New blends of synthetic oil don't have to be changed for 4 or even 5,000 miles. Ask the technician where you get your oil changed about the new blends and if there's one that will fit the type of driving style you do the most. They can recommend a change, or they might suggest that you stick with your current oil for the best performance. For people who live in cold climates, a more viscous type of oil is needed in order to keep the engine working in the winter. The oil is meant to stay mobile in freezing weather better. If you use this type of oil, then it will need to be changed seasonally so that you have the right kind in the engine for the right season. It won't hurt the car in the summer, but not having it in place in the winter could be hazardous to your engine's health. The mechanic where your car is serviced will have the best details for you when it comes to oil and getting changes done promptly.